Hello everyone, back to tuning into today's first video. We're doing the European outlook for today's first video. So as always, on a Thursday, having a look at the weather for next week, 10 days in detail for Northern Europe. And I shall get on that for you very shortly. Just so we've got our 10 to 14 day video update with all our regular features coming up later on this afternoon. And we may do Snow Watch or something tonight. I'm not sure what we're doing tonight, but there may be a video coming up for you tonight as well. The European outlooks are YouTube exclusive, so you will need to be subscribed to our channel. Click the bell notification icon as well, and you'll be notified by YouTube when we release these videos every Thursday, along with the USA forecast on a Wednesday as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, so this situation across Europe today, bitterly cold across most parts of Europe as well. It's actually turned into quite a historic cold spell in the UK. More about that in today's 10 to 14 day. But this is how things are currently set up. So high pressure continues to be blocking across Scandinavia and Northern Europe. We're still pulling in these very cold northerly, northeasterly winds across most parts of Europe, with the jet stream and the milder temperatures from the Atlantic being diverted down to the south. The upper air temperatures again show this up very, very nicely. So it really is extremely cold across most parts of Europe, severely cold actually through most central, northern and eastern parts of Europe, with those bitter cold upper air temperatures extending out into Western Europe as well. Southern Europe a lot milder, down in the Med, through Spain, Portugal into the Med, a great deal milder there. But certainly most parts of Europe are locked into the freezer. A lot of dry weather under that area of high pressure. Of course, any precipitation that is around is falling snow, just not a great deal of it. But there are a few snow showers, snow flurries here and there, some longer spells of snow over towards the Ukraine. Some heavy rain down towards Spain and Portugal as well. A few heavy showers and thunderstorms through there. A little bit of rain, sleet and snow coming in towards Ireland and the far southwest of England. I mean, some big thunderstorms down into the southeastern part of the Mediterranean through parts of Greece. Otherwise, it's a pretty dry scene across most parts of Europe, but bitterly cold. Look at these temperatures. Below freezing, really, from the UK, France and Ireland in west, all the way up to Russia in the northeast. So yeah, most parts of Europe absolutely frozen solid, locked into the freezer. Down in the Med, of course, it is a lot milder through there, with temperatures into at least low to mid teens Celsius in most areas. Friday continues to be very cold. High pressure sitting around southern parts of Norway, still bringing in these cold northerly, northeasterly or east winds across the vast majority of Europe. There's an area of low pressure just there in the east of Ukraine to western Russia that will bring a real push of extreme cold winds from the north and a lot of heavy snow with it as well. Again, southern parts of Europe nowhere near as cold. There's an area of low pressure getting going through the south of France and down into the central bowl of the Med. Upper air temperatures, again, looking extremely cold, bitterly cold through most parts of Northern Europe once again. Maybe not quite as cold as it has been over Scandinavia from an upper air temperature perspective, but of course it will still be extremely cold and snow covered through most parts of Scandi. The coldest temperatures probably, in terms of upper air temperature anyway, probably plunging down its eastern side of Europe and moving increasingly towards the southeast too. So places like the Balkans, which have been reasonably mild, and anywhere from there over towards the Black Sea, which have been pretty mild through most of this winter, will be starting to turn much colder in the coming days. Begin to get colder as well down into the central bowl of the Mediterranean and into the east part of Med, I should say. Central bowl of Med, now towards Spain, Portugal, looking relatively mild through there. Precipitation-wise, got lots of heavy snow here across the east of Ukraine and heading up in towards west of Russia. Some big showers and thunderstorms breaking out through southern parts of France and going down into central parts of the Mediterranean. And some snow up across parts of Norway and Sweden as well. But the majority of Europe, again, and that big area of high pressure, dry, but also bitterly cold. Again, these are our temperatures tomorrow, barely above freezing, right way from the far west of Europe, all the way over to Russia, absolutely locked into the freezer still through most parts of Germany, Poland. I mean, going eastwards, it gets even colder than that, absolutely frozen solid for most parts of Europe. Tomorrow, down into the Mediterranean again, it isn't as cold as it has been. It isn't as mild, it isn't as warm as it has been, but still generally above average, I should say. That's Saturday. High pressure continues to dominate across most parts of Northern Europe. Again, it remains bitterly cold through much of northern, western and central Central Europe as well. Still with this push of northerly winds down the east side of Europe as well. A lot of heavy snow through there. There's an area of low pressure across some parts of Italy that may bring some heavy showers or thunderstorms. Upper air temperatures again looking bitterly cold from most parts of Europe. Maybe starting to get a little bit less cold for Ireland, far southwest of England. But really most places still looking very, very cold, especially for north, east and central parts of Europe, and increasingly down his southeastern corner as well. Spain and Portugal and the central part of Med still looking reasonably mild. Heavy showers and thunderstorms extending from Italy over towards Greece, going a little bit further northwards. That will all turn to snow, of course, as it hits southern parts of the Balkans, for example. The snow across Ukraine and western Russia beginning to ease off. Still some snow flurries left across Poland, and some snow also across parts of Norway as well. A band of rain, sleet and snow moving in from Ireland into towards western parts of Britain, and then the majority of Europe looks mostly dry again on Saturday. Another extremely cold day coming up on Saturday through most parts of Europe too. Just a little bit less cold perhaps for the Irish Republic, but generally looking at another bitterly cold day. The temperatures kept well below freezing in most parts of Europe. Actually, it looks like it's an even colder day into parts of the British Isles, for example. On Saturday, really taking a long while to warm things up. Down in the Med, that's where the mildest temperatures are, especially again around southern parts of Spain and Portugal. Bit of a change begins to take place on Sunday. That high pressure just begins to give ground a little bit, starts to slip back in towards Germany, allowing something slightly milder from the south to push up across the west side of Europe, converge both eastern and increasingly towards southeastern parts of Europe. We see those bitterly cold temperatures plunging southwards. That's how the upper air temperatures look on Sunday. So again, the coldest temperatures are in the north and again in the east of Europe. Bitter cold temperatures plunging down the east side of Europe. Conversely, the west of Europe is beginning to get a little bit less cold, actually, a little bit milder with the upper air temperatures anyway. So Ireland turning milder, into the British Isles we're turning milder as well. West parts of France turning milder, though eastern France still looks very cold, and down to Spain and Portugal milder through there. Remember, these are upper air temperatures though, because it's been so cold for so long. It will take a while to warm things up on the surface. This is how the precipitation looks. Again, a lot of dry weather coming up with that high pressure on Sunday. The majority of precipitation is in the southeastern part of Europe, so from the Black Sea going down in towards Turkey and Greece. Heavy rain and probably heavy snow mixed in through there, depending on altitude and how far north you happen to be. Otherwise, loads of dry weather in Spain and Portugal, wet western parts of Russia. A few snow showers and snow flows scattered about, but the emphasis is on mainly dry conditions until we come in towards Ireland and the UK, and then we've got outbreaks of rain, sleet and snow moving in from off the Atlantic Ocean. Temperatures look like that. So again, northern, eastern parts of Europe absolutely frozen solid. You see how those cold temperatures have progressed down into the southeast Europe, even affected some parts of northern Greece by the time we get through to Sunday. At the same time, though, it's still cold for the UK and for France, but it's just started to turn that little bit less cold. Ireland looking rather milder, and still pretty warm or mild across Spain and Portugal as well. Italy looking a lot colder too, though. Right, we go through into Monday. That high pressure recedes a little bit further, pushing from Germany back in towards Poland. Again, on the eastern side of high, that's where the cold northerly winds and the cold air will remain. The western side of high will see milder air moving in from the Atlantic. So Ireland, UK, and now France, possibly even into the Low Countries, beginning to turn a little bit less cold or milder on Monday. Upper air temperatures look like that. So very cold on the east side of the high, as I say. The cold air extending down from northeast Europe, western Russia, all the way in towards the Greek islands. At the same time, though, western parts of Europe are getting milder. So UK, Ireland, France, Spain, Portugal, milder. Means milder temperatures are just beginning to move in towards the Low Countries, Belgium, Holland, Netherlands, and also western parts of Germany as well. Heavy showers and thunderstorms with outbreaks of snow the further north you go, and with altitude in the southeastern part of Europe. Outbreaks of rain across Ireland and the UK turn to snow, probably as it moves into cold air across the Low Countries. Again, anywhere in between looks mostly dry, apart from a few snow showers or snow flurries. Are bitterly cold through most parts of Europe, just getting a little bit less cold out in the far west and northwest, but most places still, again, looking bitterly cold on Monday. Tuesday, we'll see high pressure dominating across many central, northern and eastern parts of Europe. A big area of low pressure towards the Black Sea, bringing gale force northerly winds and probably a lot of heavy snow into Turkey there, and possibly some snow coming down into parts of Greece as well, with heavy rain, of course, of the Greek islands. Out in the west, we're going to find west of Europe. We're going to find outbreaks of rain, probably pushing eastwards across the UK and Ireland, and beginning to turn mild as well as the winds swing into the west. The Atlantic is beginning to get its act together slightly by Tuesday. Very cold across the east side of Europe, bitter from Russia all the way down in towards Greece. Going further westwards, it is a lot milder across West Europe. Scandinavia also starting to see the upper air temperatures lifting up, although I expect it will still be very cold on the surface. Scandinavia, a band of heavy rain has pushed across the UK from Monday through to Tuesday, moving out into the North Sea. That will turn relatively to snow, I would have thought, as it hits the cold air across the Low Countries and into western Germany as well. Some rain for northern parts of France. Showers for northern Portugal and Spain, mainly dry for Scandinavia, and then these huge thunderstorms with snow mixed in too over in the east and the southeast of Europe. Temperatures look like that, so it is gradually turning milder across western parts of Europe. We're slowly seeing the temperature lifting up through the west. Again, Scandinavia looks frozen, as does most parts of northern, central and eastern Europe once again. Wednesday, the high pressure is there across northern Europe. It looks like it's trying to reform again around Scandinavia, actually. Low pressure out in the Atlantic, quite a deep low, beginning to run out of a little bit of steam maybe, this push of westerlies for UK line, but still generally milder up the western side of Europe. But the high definitely looks like it's trying to get its act together again around parts of the Baltic Sea and into Scandinavia. Very cold on the eastern side of that high, with these northerly to northeasterly winds through western Russia and down to eastern Europe. Bitterly cold through the east of Europe and in the northeast too. Milder out in west, with the upper air temperatures. Mildest temperatures of all will be down in the Med. Precipitation-wise, loads of snow on this eastern side of Europe, of course. A band of snow pushing through Germany and down into, like, Hungary, for example. Some heavy snow through there. Austria, too. Mainly dry through northern parts of Europe, and outbreaks of rain, again, coming in through the British Isles and Ireland, possibly affecting parts of northern France as well. Temperatures look like that. Most parts of northern, central, eastern, even western Europe into Germany still looking very, very cold, even at this point. Probably getting even colder again across Scandinavia. Just the west of Europe, Spain, Portugal, France, Ireland and the UK. Possibly parts of the Low Countries as well, beginning to look a little bit milder on Wednesday. Thursday sees that high pressure again. It's had a go at reforming, but it's not really able to get itself back to Scandinavia. So it's just sitting across sort of Poland and into the Baltic Sea. Really, again, the cold as well will be on the east side of that high pressure, milder with these west-south westerlies out in the far west and northwest of Europe. Temperatures look like that. Very cold from Poland over towards the Black Sea and going southwards into the southeastern corner of Europe too. Milder in the north through Scandinavia and through much of Western Europe in terms of the upper air temperatures anyway. Precipitation-wise, band of rain moving from the UK in towards the North Sea. More wet weather waiting in the winds in the Atlantic. Heavy showers and thunderstorms through some parts of Italy down in towards Greece. I mean, snow, of course, as you go further northwards. A lot of dry weather from Spain and Portugal towards west parts of Russia. And temperatures look like that. Still bitterly cold through most northern, central, eastern parts of Europe. The west will be milder, so becoming milder out in the west. I'll just run you through today 10. So this is Friday 19th of February. Start to pull up a very mild southerly southwesterly up the western side of Europe, again on the western side of this ridge of high pressure as we go through into weekend of the 20th 21st of February. Again, the idea is for high pressure to be dominating, perhaps pushing a little bit further westwards. This actually looks quite spring-like now through most western parts of Europe. I would have thought temperatures could easily be lifting up into double digits here through parts of Ireland and the UK and maybe western parts of France as well. So taste of spring maybe by then. Beginning to lose the extreme cold in the east and southeast of Europe as well. So just generally flooding Europe with milder air from off the Atlantic Ocean, I think. The far north and northeast generally looking a lot colder there. Do have to consider that under this ridge there may be frost and fog by night, especially as you go over in towards the continental landmass. Right, that's it, man. So the basic story through the week is starting extremely cold, staying extremely cold through most of the week, through most parts of Europe, just gradually, day by day, begin to lift the temperature up, begin to come out of the freezer in the Western Europe, and eventually those milder temperatures should start to progress a little bit further northwards and eastwards, although Eastern and Southeastern Europe having a very, very cold week where it has been milder through this winter generally. You're going to get it in the coming week. Right, that's it then for European Outlook. We're going to be back later on for your 10 to 14 day. We'll include all the regular features as well. So come back for that then. For this European Outlook, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.